Okay, so the first service we are going to look in AWS is EC2. Okay, so the abbreviation for EC2 is Elastic Compute Cloud. Okay, and to create an EC2 server, we need few things. Okay? So one thing is Amazon machine image. So this is nothing but you're going to choose your operating system. Okay, it is an operating system. So whenever uh, you're going to create a server, right? This is the first step. You need to know like which kind of OS or operating system you need to select. Okay, you're going to choose an operating system and what type of server you want to launch. Okay, so that is called as instance type. So as part of free trial, we are eligible to only use t2.micro, and in some regions we can also use t3.micro as well. So we can use instance type t2.micro or t3.micro as part of free trial. Okay, but by default we have like t2.micro as free trial. Recently they have introduced another instance type, okay, which is called t3.micro. And where we are going to launch this EC2 server. So we are going to launch this EC2 server in a network. Okay. As of now, we are not going to touch this network part. So assume I'm going to launch this operating system in a particular network. Okay. So this is what we do. Okay. So it is almost like, as I said, similar to your how you purchase a laptop, right? So whenever you're going to purchase a laptop, the first step you are going to decide what OS you want to take. Okay, by default we all take Windows laptops only because that is more convenient for us. Okay, so then some people they prefer Linux operating system because they are well used to that operating system, so they prefer Linux operating systems. Okay, so next what they choose is they'll decide about the configuration of the laptop they want to purchase. So similarly here also, like whenever we are going to create a server, the first thing is we choose an operating system. And coming to the operating system in terms of Amazon, so they are calling as an Amazon machine image. Okay, so in Amazon they are preparing an image for every machine. Okay, so your machine is nothing but kind of a laptop or a computer. So whatever we need, they are going to prepare those related images, and those machines they are providing us Amazon machine image. And the next is instance type. So what is this instance type means? Configurations of the server. Okay, so whenever you need a server instance type, so you need to select what kind of CPU you need for your server. Okay, how much memory you need for server. So based on that you can pick several instances, but as you pick other services or the other instance types, you are going to get charged. Okay, so that's why as part of free trial, we will be using only this T2.micro or T3.micro. Okay. Okay. You have chosen all this and have created a server. Once that server is created, here the server is EC2, right? So once the server is created, I need to connect. I need to connect to the server. Okay. So where is this server being created? It is being created in the data center. Okay, which is not physically present here. So I need to connect to this server. So we need to use some mechanism. Okay, so that is called SSH. We'll do an SSH to the server. Okay, that is nothing but we are connecting to the server. So we are establishing a connection using SSH so that we'll be able to connect to the server and we'll be able to do whatever we want. Okay, if we can install an application, if you want to host a website, if you want to run a shell script or any program, anything you can do. Okay, so whenever you are going to connect to the server, you need few things. What you are going to need? So whenever the server is created, it gets a public IP. Public IP address is created for the server. Okay. After the public IP address created, so whenever I'm going to create a server, one thing is it should be created with a key pair. Okay. So there will be a key pair as well whenever we create a server. So why we are having this key pair means whoever is having this key or holding the key, he will be only able to connect to the server. Okay. No other people will be able to connect to the server. So we should have this key whenever someone is going to try to connect to the server. We should also create a key pair. So using this key pair only, you'll be able to connect. It is like an extra authentication method. Okay. So you also need a key pair. Okay. So these are the things you need. Okay. So first, okay, I'm going to create a server. So the first step is I choose an AMI. Okay, Amazon Mission Image. And next step, I'm going to choose the configurations for my server. How much RAM it should have, how much CPU configurations it should have. So based on that, we select the instance type. Okay. So generally here we are selecting this because we need free trial. But in usually in organizations, we can select any M5 large or M5X large. Okay, organizations will never use T2.microservice. Okay, so these are the basic servers that are just given for the learning purpose. Okay, just do some hands-on for us. Okay, and to just play with these AWS services, they have given this. But in organizations, we might use M5 large, M5X large, and there are several other types of instance types as well. Okay, and whenever you are going to create a server, you should create it with a key pair, and whoever is having this key pair will be able to connect to the server. Okay. So when the server is also created, you're going to get its public IP address. Okay. You need its public IP address and you need its key as well. So whoever is having this key pair and its public IP will be able to connect to the server. So someone has created some EC2 server and is asking you to connect. Okay. So in that case, you need these two things. One is the public IP of the server and one is the key pair. It's like public IP address is nothing but you want to call someone, you need to connect to someone, so you need his phone number. Okay, but no, here whoever wants to connect will not be able to connect here. Okay, if someone wants to connect like that, they need this key pair. Okay, so this is what will we do now. So yesterday we used to connect to the server, but we have used EC2 Instance Connect, so that we can connect from the browser. Okay, so that's the easier way. Okay, but always we should launch with a key pair. Okay, why? Because this gives an extra security. So let me go to my AWS account, click on EC2 server. Okay, you could see here, right, there are three servers running, instances running three. Okay, and if you want to view like global, okay, so these servers are running in the North Virginia region right now. I mean, this in this data center, I have three servers running, but I want to see which how many servers are running in the other regions. Okay, so then you should click EC2 Global View. It will give you an entire dashboard of your resources in all the regions. Okay, sometimes you might create some servers in some other region. You want to get a list of how many servers are present in particular region. Okay, so almost you see in the other regions, I do not have any servers here. Okay, sometimes what will happen is we might create some servers in some region, Mumbai region or Oregon region, and we might get forward. Okay, we might forward those. So in those cases, you can just use EC2 Global View and see if there are any running servers. Okay, so you should be zero. Okay, so it means that there is no servers running in this particular Europe, Ireland region, and Berlin, Tokyo. Okay, we have not launched any or created any service. Only so far we are using this North Virginia. So let me go back to EC2 service. So we'll follow the same instructions what I have been creating till now, okay, whatever we have seen. So I'm going to create an EC2 instance. The first step is to choose an AMI. Then I'm going to click on launch instance. I'm creating something called web server. Okay, I'm giving some name. I will launch some Ubuntu instance. Okay, so this is my AMI. Okay. So what is AMI? You can think is it's like an operating system. Okay, so you have chosen the operating system. So what is the second step? Instance type. Okay, you need to choose what is the configuration required for your server. Okay, this is the operating system. Next is the configuration. So next, as I said, you can choose any configuration, but it is going to be charged. Okay. So it is like if you go for higher as well, you can go for higher servers as well. So all these are like instance types. C1 medium. Okay. So and you could see the pricing per hour as well. Okay. So they are going to give you like 15 GB memory and 8 CPUs. Okay. But the price is almost like close to $1 here. Okay. 0.75 USD per dollar. Okay. This is like $1.5. So they are like giving you 30 GB of memory and like 16 CPUs, 16 core CPU. So who needs this servers, okay? Someone who wants to do some large data analysis, who is running some machine learning models, okay? He might run more computing power, means he needs more server capacity, like not social media, any artificial intelligence or some machine learning models we have, right? So there will be large set of, there will be multiple data sets, okay? Large amount of data will be there and some processing will be happening in the backend, okay? So to do that artificial intelligence or some data science analysis and all, so you need like more computing power. More computing power is nothing but you need more CPUs and more RAM, okay? So we can use all of this. So, but as part of free trial, we'll use T2.micro only. Okay, it is showing right free tier eligible means we are not going to get any charge. So these are the two things. So we have selected an operating system. Okay, operating system I have chosen as Ubuntu. So here instance type I have chosen as T2.micro. Okay. So next we should create a key pair as well. Okay, for every server there will be a key pair, and I'm going to click on create new key pair. Clicked on create new key pair. Okay, I'm going to give some key pair name. It can be anything. I'm going to give like okay, September 5th key dot. Okay, so this is the key I'm going to create. So it is in the .pem extension. Okay, so by default it is already selected .pem. So I'll click on this download. Create a key pair. So that key pair is downloaded. Okay, so where it is downloaded? It is downloaded to my laptop. So for the server, I have given a name called web server and have given an operating system as Ubuntu, and I have chosen instance type as T2.micro, and I have created a key pair as well. Okay. So I told you like every server will be launched in a particular network. You can assume it's being launched in one network, but we'll cover this again. So as I told you, you also need to connect to your server, right? You need to connect to the server. Whatever you are creating, you also need to connect to the server. So to connect to the server, you need to allow SSH traffic from anywhere. So this is by default, it's checked. Okay, if it is not checked, you should check this and enable. Okay. So it's by default, they're allowing this traffic. Means if you do not, if it is this is unchecked, right, you'll not be able to connect to your server. Okay. So the purpose of creating a server is to connect to the server. Okay. So always click, this should be allow SSH traffic from anywhere. Means anyone can connect. So next step is we are attaching some disk space as well. Okay. So for like whenever we purchase a laptop, we need to have a disk as well. Okay, we'll choose like 1 DB, whatever you need. So here by default they are giving like 8 GB, but if you want to use, you can go for like 15 GB or 20 GB. How much you need, you can use. Okay, but as of now by default, let's keep it as 8. This is sufficient for us. So how many number of servers you can create? Okay, so they're asking like how many number of servers you want to create. I need only one server. So that is it. Okay, I'm going to click on launch instance. Okay, so these are my requirements. I had to create a server. So I am selecting all the details and clicking on launch instance. Okay, so now all these details are passed to the AWS data center. Okay, all these details are given as an input. So there is a program that is running once I click on launch instance, and that program is taking all this data and sending to the AWS data center. Okay, since I am on North Virginia, so it is going to be created in the North Virginia data center. Okay, somewhere. So somewhere in this particular data center, the server might be created. Okay, because we also provide the details, what type of server I need. Okay, what is my server configuration I need and all. Okay, so now the server is created there. So they are going to allocate me some space in that particular data center. So it is saying successfully initiated launch of instance. Okay, so this is the server, and you could see the server is still in the pending state. Okay, whenever I create a server in the initial phase, it will be in pending state. So we'll wait until it is running, and before that we'll see. Okay. So whenever a server is created, you are going to get a public IP address, private IP address, public DNS, and what is the instance type? Okay, already we have selected it's t2.micro. And what is the type of operating system we have choose? Ubuntu, Ubuntu platform. Okay. So what is the AMI ID? Okay, so AMI, every operating system will have their respective AMI ID. And I can also know when this was launched. Okay, there are some servers in your account. You want to understand when was this launched. This gives you the launch time. So it was created just 1 minute ago. So what key pair I used? September 5 key. Okay. So this is the key I need to connect to this server. Okay. As I told you here, if you want to need to connect to the server, okay. So you probably need its public IP address and its key pair, right? Okay. So once you have this, you'll be able to connect to the server, okay, by doing as such. Okay. So now let's try to see the state. If the server is running, we'll try to connect. Still it's pending. So we'll reload if it is into the running state. So now the server is in the running state. Okay. So as I told you, to connect to your server, always you need your public IP address. Okay. I'm going to click on public IP. And what else I need? I need its key pair as well. Okay. Both I need. So also I need where is my key pair located. Okay. So my key pair is somewhere down, got downloaded in the download section. If I go to download, this is where it is. Okay. So what I can see here, open file or show in folder. Okay. So where is this is downloaded? I want to see this. It is downloaded here. September 5 key. Okay. So now I use my command prompt cmd. So I know my key is in the downloads directory. Okay. So I'm going to do cd downloads. If I do dir, it is going to show me whatever files are present in my server. Okay. So we'll find out where is my September key.pem. Okay, here it is. Okay. So it is like August 30, so on so time. This key has been created. So it is able to see there. Okay. So now I should use this key and connect to the server. Okay. So to connect to the server, the syntax is SSH hyphen I. What is the key name? Okay. September 5 key dot pem. Okay. Sep 5 key dot pem. Okay. So next, so what operating system I have chosen? Ubuntu, right? Okay. So for Ubuntu operating system, Ubuntu is the username. Okay. At the rate. So next I'm going to choose, here I need to provide the public IP address of the server. Okay. So I'm going back here to my EC2 instance. What is my public IP? This is the one. Okay. So this is the name I have given to my server. I've named it as web server. Okay. So this is, I'm going to copy my public IP address. This is the address. Okay. Because EC2 దీనికి అవసరం లేదు. EC2 మీరు ఒక లైనక్స్ ఏమైతే ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ క్రియేట్ చేశారు, దానికి యూజర్ నేమ్ ఏంటంటే SSH hyphen I. So whatever key name you have created, right, provide that key name and you give EC2 hyphen user at the rate IP address of the server. Okay. So if you are creating EC2 server using the AWS Linux AMI, so even AWS have their own Linux AMI. Okay. If you are using AWS Linux AMI, the username is EC2 hyphen user. Okay. If you are using Ubuntu AMI, okay, so the username is Ubuntu. So we can get the list of usernames for whatever operating system we use. Okay. So it will be, I'll give you the list. Okay. So if you are going to use some CentOS, what is the username? If you are going to use Red Hat, so only that varies here. Okay. So always here will be your username. And what is this? This is your IP address of your server. Okay. To whichever server you want to connect, you need to provide its IP address of the server. What is this? Username. So this is the username, this is the IP address. Okay. And what is this? This is the key pair. Okay. Every server you want to connect, you are going to have a key pair. Okay. And you need to have its public IP. Okay. So once you know like which AMI you have used, you need to know its username as well. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I will try to connect to this. Let me maximize a bit. Okay, yes, let me maximize. So the command is SSH hyphen I, the key name. Okay. So the key name you should provide wherever your key is located. Okay. My key is located in the downloads directory. Okay. So I am going to say September 5 key dot pem. Okay. So next, what is the username here? Ubuntu at the rate. I need to provide my IP address of the server. Okay, so this is my IP address, and there is some option AWS is providing you. Okay, if you want to use like connect, there is something you want to use SSH and connect. Okay, they are also giving you the syntax. What is the syntax? SSH hyphen I September 5 e dot pen. What is this? Ubuntu. It is a username, but they are given this DNS. Okay, you can use your DNS name or your public IP address as well. Either both of these, any one of them you can use to connect. Okay? You can use the DNS, but if you don't remember, you can just go to here. If you copy this, you'll be able to connect to the server. Okay, but going forward, as you practice, you'll remember this. Okay, you'll do SSH, provide your key, provide the IP username, and provide either IP address. Okay, I'm not taking copying this long DNS because this IP address is smaller. Okay, so I'm just taking that IP address of my EC2 server. So I can use either public DNS as well. Okay. Ubuntu at the rate IP address. I didn't copy it. You can just click on here, it will be copied automatically. Okay, so this is how I need to provide, but you need to ensure that this key is available in this downloads folder. Okay, so wherever the key is available, you need to go to the specific path. Okay, so what it is telling, so there is something saying it is going to establish a connection to the particular IP address, and do you want to trust and want to continue connecting to the server? Okay, I'm saying yes, I want to connect to the server. So now I have connected to the my server. This is Ubuntu server. చెప్పండి మీ డౌట్ ఏంటి? అది EC2 ఐఫోన్ యూజర్ అనమాట. లైనక్స్ ఏమో యూజ్ చేస్తే మీరు EC2 ఐఫోన్ యూజర్ యూజ్ చేసి IP అడ్రస్ యూజ్ చేయాలి. ఓకే, సో మనం ఇక్కడ ఏం యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాం అంటే Ubuntu యూజ్ చేస్తాం. Ubuntu IP అడ్రస్. దిస్ ఈస్ ఫర్ EC2 యూజర్ ఎప్పుడు యూజ్ చేస్తారంటే ఓన్లీ ఫర్ లైనక్స్ ఏమో. Okay, మన Ubuntu ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ యూజ్ చేసుకుని చేస్తాం. Okay, so try creating different servers as well. Okay, as of now I have created just Ubuntu operating system only. So right now where I am on my operating system. Okay, I am not on my command prompt actually. Okay, I use my command prompt to get connected to the server. Now actually where I have connected to one of the server. Okay, so to this particular data center server I have connected now. Okay, one of the server. So I can enter some Linux commands here. Okay, and so I told you if I need to operate anything here, I need to know Linux. Okay, because this is not having any user interface; it's just a terminal. So whatever actions I need to do, okay, I need to know Linux commands. Okay, so this is the Ubuntu user. Okay, so if you do like sudo s, you will be able to switch as a root user. Okay, why we are going to switch as a root user? The reason is so it gives an administrator access. Okay, on your Windows as well, there will be like administrator access and normal user access as well. Okay, so if you want to switch like a root user, okay, so like this is like a super user. Okay, sudo su will give you the root user access. So now what is the user here? Root. So earlier you used Ubuntu. Ubuntu was the user. Okay, so that's why I used Ubuntu as a username. Now I'm going to use root user. Okay, so right now I'm here. Okay, let me clear my screen. Okay, uname just gives me what platform I am on. Okay, so I'm on my Linux, and there is one more command called W. What this W will show you is so who has connected to this server. Okay, and from which IP address he has connected to the server. Okay, so I connected to the one of the server in the AWS data center. Okay, which is here. When I connected it, it is also getting to know from which location the user got connected. Okay, so my IP address is this one. Okay, so this is my IP address. Okay, so everyone will have their own IP address to whatever network you have got connected, right? So if everyone is in this same network or the same Wi-Fi you have connected, so you're also going to get this IP address. Okay, so this is my IP address. Okay, now you could see this and you compare this 183.83.3940. Okay, so it is also showing me from which IP address the user had connected. Okay, if you had connected from your network, so it will show you your IP address, your network's IP address. Okay. Okay, so now if you want to connect to the server, okay, this is my server actually created in my AWS account. Okay, if you want to connect to the server, okay, since I have showed you my IP address, okay, so if I ask you to connect to the server, you will not be able to connect. Why? Because you do not have the key. Okay, because the key is with me, the server's key is with me, and you need to keep the key very confidential. Okay, so someone knows your IP address and he has bought your access to your key, then he'll be able to connect to your server. Okay, and so you're losing the access to your AWS account. Okay, he has also got access to the your server. So always your EC2 key, whatever you are creating for your EC2, so should be always kept very confidential, this key pair name. So if I tell you my username, IP address, everything also, so this is an extra authentication the user needs to do. Okay? Until he will have my key, he will not be able to connect to my server. But if I am passing my key to you, okay, if I am passing my key to you, you will be able to connect to the server. Okay, because you have got the key, you have got to know my IP address as well. Okay. So other than that, yesterday I have connected, right? So you can use connect EC2 instance connect. Okay. So for this, you need not use any of the key pair as well. Okay. So if you do not have key pair as well, you will be able to connect to the server. So in that case, you just click on connect. But you need to log into your AWS account. Then only you'll be able to use your option. Okay. So now I connected to my EC2 server from browser. Okay, so I use EC2 Instance Connect. Okay, we have seen two ways. One is EC2 Instance Connect. One is through SSH client. Okay, through the SSH client, if you want to connect, we need to have a key pair as well. Okay, so now if I want to create anything here, okay, if I want to create a file, okay, I need to know some commands. If I need to create a file, if I need to delete a file, or if I need to create a directory. So these are the like basic Linux operations. Okay, and if you want to get into a particular directory. So all these these are like very easier. Okay, if it is on Windows operating system. If you are on Windows, what you do, if I ask you to create a file, you'll just go here or do a right click, create new, create a file. Okay, whatever you need, you'll be able to do it. Okay, so just go on here. So what I can do is just click on some folder here. I can go to documents. Okay, I'm here. So I can go new and click on some file. Okay, so maybe if I want to create a file, so it is easily I have created a file here. Okay, but on Linux, if you want to create file, we need to know the commands. Okay, so we'll see few of the basic Linux commands. Okay, so to create a file, okay, because I'm on Linux server, I do not know anything to perform anything on Linux. Okay, so if I want to create a file, I'm going to use a command called touch. Okay, so basically touch is a command used to create a file. Okay, and the syntax is touch and the file name. Like the example is, if you want to create a file for using touch, so this way you can create a file here. Okay, so the syntax is touch file name. Okay, so you can also create like multiple files. Okay, here I have created one file, so let me create the first file here. Okay, So what is the command? Touch and the file name. Okay, so the file is created, but I'm not able to see. Okay, but the advantage with the Windows operating system is like if I'm creating the file, immediately I'm able to see the same file here. Okay, but coming to the Linux, I'm not able to see. Okay, so to view that, okay, we need to use one more command. Okay, to view files or directories. Okay, there is a command called ls. Okay. So what it is, this command will do, it is will list whatever is present in my current directory. It is going to list. I'm able to see, right? So I'm able to see this particular file is present. Ondemandlabs.txt file is present. Okay. So let me create one more file as well. Okay. Touch linux.txt. Okay. So again, I can use ls command. So it is going to show me the two files that are present over here. So likewise, I can create multiple files as well. Okay. I can create file1.txt, file2. So you can use touch command to create multiple files at one shot. Okay. So I'm going to say this file2.txt, file3.txt, file4.txt. Okay. So I use a single touch command and with spaces I've just given the file names. Okay. So all are created in one shot now. Okay. If I do ls, okay, I'm having like file1.txt, file2.txt, file3.txt, and file4.txt. Okay. So now if I want to view this, okay, if you want to get more information, okay, so I'm going to use ls-l. Okay. So it is going to give me long information about this file. Means when did these files were created, on which date it was created and all, I'm able to see. Okay. So I'm going to use ls-l. Okay, it is going to display, okay, in the longer format. Okay, the same data, whatever it is showing me. So it is going to show me this file was created because all these four files are created in single command, right? So these are created at the same time. So that's why all these are showing at the same time. But the first file I was created was this one, ondemandlabs.txt. Later I have created linux.txt. And so here what is happening is, so what is the latest file I created? It is here. Okay. So let me create some more files. Okay. Touch aws.txt. Okay. So now there are more files now. Okay. So I want to get list in a longer list these files in a longer format. So it is going to give me the date and all. But here I am. So where is my cursor pointing here? If I want to see some latest files, that is not available here. Okay. It is going at the top. Okay. So now what I want to do is ls hyphen lt. So now I have sorted this all this. Okay. Initially it was like random, like here and there. Now I have sorted according to the time. Okay. So now the latest file is here. You can see according to the this is the first file created at 4:48. I mean this is the UTC time zone. Okay, that's why it is having a different time format. 48, 49, 51 means we'll be able to see the latest files here on top based on the time. Okay, so now what I want to do is the recent files which I've created, I don't want at the top because my cursor is here, right? I want to see here. So what I'll do is I use ls hyphen lrt, means I'm reversing that. So whatever I'm getting here, right? I'm going to use R command and reversing this. So now the recent files that are created, I'm getting here. So I need not look at the top. If there are more files, I'll go at the top and look from at the top. Okay. Now, if I'm reversing it, So my recent files are here. Okay. So that's why in generally whenever we are using Linux or we want to see some files or directories, by default we use ls-lrt. Okay. The reason is, so I want to get the recently created files here because my mouse or the pointer will always point here, right? I could see easily here. Okay, nearest to my where my pointer mouse is located. Okay, so if it is at the top, I need to again scroll top as well. Okay, so that's why we use ls-lrt. Okay, so this is how we create files. Okay, so similarly we can create directories as well. So touch is the file name, and also we created multiple files. So this was the command to create file. Okay, and also like to create multiple files. Touch and the file name. Okay. So how many you want, you can create like this, okay, using the touch command. Okay. So next, we also used ls. Okay. So to get more information, I used ls-l. Okay. So this is going to give me the long information about the files and directories. Okay. So again, how I did use this command ls-lt. Okay. Because I sorted the files creation. Okay. Based on the time. So next I have used ls-lrt. Okay. Okay, so this is how actually I'm doing. Okay, I'm listing the files based on a reverse order. Okay, why? Because I want to get the generally the latest file creation will come at the top, but I want to see it at the bottom. Okay, if there are many files, I need to scroll to the top again to see that. Okay, but I want to view here itself, so that's why we use this command ls-lrt. Okay. So now I want to delete a file. How do I delete a file? Okay, so we use a command called rm command. Okay, so this rm command is used to delete the file. Okay, so first was all about the file creation. Okay, we have like seen about files. Okay. Now I want to like delete a file. Okay, so to delete a file name, the syntax is rm and the file name. Okay, so we'll see an example. So rm, so I created like aws.txt, right? So I can delete like this. Okay. So similarly, again, I can delete all these files in a single command. Okay. So to delete files, to delete multiple files. So what is the command to delete multiple files? I'm going to use rm azure.txt gcp.txt or file1.txt file2.txt. Okay. So this way I can delete my files. So let's go here. Okay, I do have some files already. So what I want to do is I want to delete some files. Okay, so command is rm and the file name. Okay, so I'm using AWS. So no need to type the entire name. So just type a and hit the tab. Okay. So it is going to give you the full name. Okay, rm aws.txt is deleted. Now if I want to see, I use ls. So here there is no file called aws.txt because that's gone. We have deleted that. Okay. So similarly, now let me use rm command and try to delete multiple files. Now I'm going to use pp.txt and azure.txt. So two files are also gone. I have only these things. Okay, file 1, file 2, file 3, file 4. Okay, I'll use rm. Okay, so I've deleted all this. Now I have only two files. Okay, so let's delete this as well. rm lineage.txt also have deleted. Okay, so I have only one file now, ondemandlabs.txt. Okay, so because I've entered all this, my terminal is full. Okay, so my terminal has been showing all these commands, but I want to clear my terminal. Okay, to clear my terminal, I'm going to use a command called clear. Okay, this will clear my terminal. Okay, so to clear the terminal, I'm going to use clear command. Okay, just enter clear. Yeah, so you can use that as well. Okay. So next, what you can do is you can create a directory. Okay. Mhm. So next, what you can do is you can create a directory. Okay. So to create a directory, what is a directory? Basically, it is like similar to a your folder. Okay. So in your Windows, if you see what is this, this is a folder. Okay. So in Linux, the same this thing is called as a directory. This is treated as a directory. Okay, the folder. Okay, this is a file everywhere, and here we name treat this as like okay folders or directories. Okay, but in Linux, always we call this as a directory. So now to create this directory, okay. So again, there is a syntax mkdir and the directory name. So what is this going to create? It is going to create a directory. This command, whatever directory you want to create. Okay. Example. Okay. So this is the directory name. Okay. mkdir ondemandlabs. Okay. So a directory will be created. So let's create a directory now. Okay. So the syntax is mkdir directory name. Okay. So generally on the servers, you'll be able to see this in the blue color. Okay. So the thing which is in this color, like white. Okay. So it is like treated as a file. And what is this? This is a directory. Okay. Now you can use ls command as well. Okay, to see this. And we have already seen how to use ls-lrt, right? Because the recently created one will show here. Okay, it will show in the reverse order. Now, how do I know it is a directory? Because I know I created like mkdir and the directory name. So you could see at the beginning, okay, something is denoted with a D. Okay, this is treated as a directory. And in the beginning, something is with just hyphen, that is treated as a file. If there is no denotation anything here, that is like treated as a file. And if something is beginning with a D, I can also know it is a directory. Okay. So I can also like delete a directory. Okay. So the syntax is remove directory and the directory name. Okay. This is how you can delete the directory. Okay. So let me create some directories. Okay. mkdir AWS KDIR. Yes, yes, you can create. So there is another command, I'll show you that. Okay. So all these are like directories, and this is the file name now. Okay. So how we can know? Like you can use ls-lrt. Okay. Now you are everywhere, wherever T is donated at the beginning, right? So you know all these are like directories. Okay. So we'll see what are these. These are like permissions. Okay. We'll discuss and what is this root and all. We'll see in the next session. So I have all this. So I want to delete a directory now. Okay, I'm going to use rmdir Azure. Okay, it is going to be deleted. So now I want to get inside this directory. Okay, cd ondemandlabs. Okay, so if I want to get inside that directory, okay, so there is a command called cd and the directory name. So what this cd stands for? Change directory. Okay. Change directory to this particular directory. Okay, so that is what it will say. Sure. cd and what is the directory name here? If I want to go inside that particular directory, I'm going to use cd and the directory name. Okay. So I'm going to use cd AWS. Okay. So I'll be getting inside the directory. Okay. In Windows, if I want to get into the AWS directory, it is very easier for me. Okay. So what I'm going to do, just I'm here. Okay. I'll come and create a directory AWS. Okay. So this is the directory. Okay. I'm just double clicking at in going inside the directory. Okay. But coming to the Linux, we need to use cd command, then only we'll be going to inside this directory. Okay, cd aws. So what are the command to see if there is anything present here? ls. Okay, so there is nothing present here, so that is empty, but in aws I can create a file. Okay, so I can use touch aws.txt. The file is created. Okay, so where is this file created? Inside the aws directory. So I can also use touch azure.txt. I use ls. So there is aws.txt, this is azure.txt. But where they are in the AWS directory. Okay. So here I went inside to the AWS directory in Windows. Okay. So to come out, okay, I'm just coming out. Okay. So I'll use this browser. While these browser icons, okay, left and right, and I'll come back. Okay. If I want to come outside of the directory here, I want to use cd space dot. Okay. What this will do is it will take me one step back, one directory back. Right now I'm in my AWS, right? From AWS it will take me out. Okay. So I'm not in AWS directory now. I'm in just my Ubuntu only home. Okay, but so now AWS in AWS directory we have not created anything. Okay, it is just a directory, and we have created some files. Okay, aws.txt we have created. So now let me try to delete this directory. Okay, rmdir aws. అది చూడాలంటే క్యాట్ కమాండ్. వెళ్ళకుండా చూడాలంటే ఉంది కానీ క్యాట్ తో చూడలే. చూడొచ్చు, మీకు చూపిస్తాను. Okay, so now I'm going to try to delete this rmdir and the directory name. Okay, so but this directory is not going to delete. What it is saying? So it is failed to remove aws directory not empty అని చెప్తుంది. Because so previously whenever I deleted a directory, that was an empty directory, but this time the directory is not empty ఎందుకంటే దాంట్లో ఫైల్స్ ఉన్నాయి. Okay, so because the directory is containing some files, we are not able to delete it. Okay, So in order to like delete, okay, if there is a files also, you can use a command called rm minus rf. Okay. And what is the directory you want to delete? AWS. We are deleting it forcefully, rm minus rf and the AWS. Okay. And this directory is completely deleted. Okay. Now if I do ls, so what is the directory and file name I do have? This both I do have. Okay, this file name and this directory. I do have this both. So now let me create one more directory, mkdir Linux classes. Yes. Okay. So this is the directory that we have. Again, if I want to switch to the directory, what is the command? CD and the Linux classes. Okay. So now I'm going to create a file here, touch and the file name. Okay. So I can use aws.txt, touch, Azure. So if you want to know wherever you are present, okay, you can use a command called pwd. Okay, it will show your present working directory. Okay, so wherever you are, so wherever what directory you are right now, home ubuntu slash linux classes. Okay, so if you want to know in windows as well where you are present, you can go here, right? So you'll just click this to show your path where you are present. Okay, users Lenovo OneDrive slash documents. Okay, so similarly, if you want to know Linux in Linux where you are present, okay, so you are present in this particular path slash home slash Ubuntu slash Linux classes. So if you want to move from Linux classes to Ubuntu directory, okay, one step back. If you want to move one directory back, you can use cd command space dot dot. Okay. So what will this do you? It will take you one step back. So right now where you are, PWD, home Ubuntu. Okay, you are not in the Linux classes. Okay, so this is how we create directories and go inside a directories. Okay, so to get into a particular directory. Okay, to go back to the previous directory, we use a command called cd space dot dot. Okay, so what will this do is will take us one step back from the directory. Okay, always in which directory you want to know. Okay. If you want to know where you are, you can use pwd. Okay, pwd means okay. Sometimes what will happen is we want to search some file. Okay, so we'll go there and will not be able to find the file. Okay, so at that time you need to confirm whether you are in the right directory or not. Okay. So if you are you can check like this. If you are not in the right directory, you need to switch to the right directory. Okay, so you can use all these commands. Okay, so I'll send you this document. Okay, you can play with this. So why? Because going forward we are going to do lot of things in the git. Okay, so on the git, if you are using any git commands, you're creating directories or switching inside or moving outside. Okay, so further this linux is very much needed. Okay, so although this is a basic linux, okay, but still you need all these commands while you are interacting with the git. Okay, so please practice this. Okay, so did you create the github account and did you create the repository as well? GitHub accounts create just a repositories.
Hi, myself is Anil and I have a question on the list of directories. Is it right time to come to you? So, hello.
So let's clear all this. Okay. So I'm going to clear the file name. RM is the file. Okay. I have a directory as well here. Okay, if you are going to use this command only, you want to remove forcefully. Okay, else you can use rmdir if it is an empty directory. Okay, so I do not have anything here. Okay. I've exited back to my Ubuntu user. Okay, I'm not a root user right now. Okay, so I switched back as an Ubuntu user. So this was the username when I used to log into this EC2 server. Okay, so I exited from there as well. Okay, so I came back to my command prompt. Okay, so I use this command prompt to connect to the server. Okay, so which is my EC2 server, and from there I switched as a root user. Okay, again I came back from root user to Ubuntu. From Ubuntu have got exited. Okay, so this is getting just logging out my connection. It's not terminating my server. Okay, my server is not get terminated. I've just come out of my server. That's it. Okay, so but see, server is running here always. Server is nothing but open. So my server is running always. Okay. If I want to connect back, I can use again the PEM key, right? So what is the command? SSH-I, the PEM key, username at the rate IP address. Okay. Or you can use the other way is SSH again -I, ename your username, whatever it is, at the rate DNS name, public DNS. Okay. You can use this public IP address or public DNS to connect to the server, and similarly you can exit out of that. Okay, so now I'm back in the command prompt, means we have used this command prompt as a medium to connect to the server. Okay, so earlier this command prompt was not actually supporting. Okay, now command prompt is also like supporting. If you want to know, like from Windows 10 it is supporting. Okay, so if you know, like, so like not every operating system might support. Okay, so if you want to know whether it is supporting or not, go to your command prompt and enter SSH. Okay, if you are getting these options, okay, bind interface and all, it means SH is present. If it is says SH not found, okay, will be not be able to do from the command prompt. Okay, in that case, yesterday I told you to install git bash, right? Okay, you can use git bash, connect to the server.